Hello, my name is Price Van Ray. I am a divorced single dad, father of 5 kids, and welcome to my show. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Today, I'm going to be talking about ways to save for your dream vacation. I did some vacationing. I love to travel, so that's pretty much one of the things I love to do. Yeah, so I hope you guys love to travel too. So, before I do that, I want to say a few words. Solving a problem is much like walking. You must proceed one step at a time. That's right, people. When you got a problem, you just can't tackle the whole thing all at once. You got to proceed one step at a time. You got to figure out, how am I going to solve this problem? What am I going to do first? What's my intention, and where am I going to end up? I mean, you don't want to solve a problem and be worse off than you were before the problem, do you? I wouldn't want to do that. That's like insane. That is insane. No way. No. So, that being said, I just want to say hello to everybody out there, all the new people out there who are listening, all the new people who are divorced. That's one. That new people who are getting ready to have a family and they have kids. This is a great time in your life, and you're gonna learn a lot. You're gonna love it. It's a great ride, guys. Enjoy it. One thing: don't yell at your kids. Try not to. They get older, they're gonna get on your nerves. I mean, it's gonna happen. But try to keep that yelling down to a minimum, because kids don't like to be yelled at. That's for sure. I've yelled at my kids probably, from my recollection, at the most 3 or 4 times. From their recollection, it was a lot more. I'm like, I don't know where you get this from. I don't know, because that ain't how I remember it. But remember, we all remember things differently at different times in different ways. So that is that. I'm going to talk about the vacation. Which is cool. First, I want to say, when I was younger, my parents loved to take us on vacation. They'd save up. But remember, guys, this is when gas was 35 cents. 30 cents or 35. I do remember that. And I remember this was in the early 1970s. I was born in 65, so I was like 5 or 6. I remember going to the gas station and seeing the gas prices. I remember when they started going up, but anyways, we're going to stick to when it was like 30 cents. So I remember my parents said, yeah, we're going to go across country and this and that and see your dad's father. I forget why we were seeing him, but I guess he just wanted to see his dad over in California. So my mom went to AAA. This is where you get directions, and they used to give out maps, and they used to be really great as far as destinations and knowing their stuff. They didn't have to hop on a computer like they do now, as if it's the first time they're looking. They really knew their stuff, and because they were like travel agents. So I remember going with my mom, and I guess my mom, I didn't go with her this time though. I remember her telling me this time. My mom said, yeah, I went to the travel agency, and my dad went with her too, I guess. And my dad said, I just want to go to California and come back. And the lady said, oh, no, you don't just want to do that. You're going to be going across country, so there's a lot of stuff you want to stop and see that many people don't see. So there's a lot of things you can actually sightsee, take pictures. This is where you've been. That's how you travel. Now, my dad, he was just a meat and potato kind of guy. He doesn't really do the traveling thing. He doesn't really do the world, I'm going to see this thing. No, he just likes to sit on the porch, sit in a rocking chair, and swat the flies. He's from Mississippi, so people down there tend to be a little slower pace. Where my mom, I'm from up here. We're like go-getters. So the lady told my mom what we could do, and she built out a whole map. And she said, this is where you want to go. This is what you want to see. I do remember seeing a lot of stuff. I mean, I was a little kid, remember this stuff. But I remember the important things. I remember I saw the Space Needle. I don't know if people know that. I almost want to say that's in Seattle. But I do remember seeing the Space Needle. I remember getting a pen. That was a special pen. You turn it upside down, and the little elevator thing goes up to the needle and down. It was amazing. I remember seeing my mom said they were the Blue Mountains. and that was cool. I remember when we went down south in like Arizona and Texas, we saw cactuses. I had never seen cactuses in my life except for on cartoon television, where they look like a person as if they're being held up with their hands up. But these were actually real cactuses, and they did look like that. It was amazing. I remember we ended up seeing a snake go across the highway. It wasn't like a highway; it was like a long dirt road in a desert. But you could see all these little critters running across every now and then. Not all the time, no, but every now and then, if you looked, I mean, we saw a little snake there. One of the coolest times was now I don't know if I was older this time because we went across country a couple times, but I remember the car broke down and we ended up staying at a military base to get it fixed. They fixed it for us for free, but I remember when I don't know if the car broke down at this point, but we ended up staying in a rest area overnight. I was gonna sit outside the car, but then there were signs saying "Beware of the snakes." So snakes everywhere. What is this, Snake World? So I was sitting outside for a little bit, and then I got scared. I went back in the car, and when I was in the car, I slept. And the next day, we got up, and we were on this like hill, and down the hill, it was a small hill, was a little pond, and me and my sister, we were having a great time. We ran down there, we were playing, running back up and down and up and down. But I'm looking back, saying to myself, "Boy, we we were sort of lucky. Not only did we not think of the snakes, but we did not think of mountain lions or bears." And I'm thinking, to this day, I'm thinking, man, can you imagine if there was a mountain lion down there? We'd be dead. We'd be dead. I wouldn't know what to do. But we were lucky, and we had fun. That was the big thing. Going on vacation, you want to have fun. You want to make sure you and your children have some great time and some great memories. And I did have some great times, and I had a lot of great memories thanks to my mom and dad taking the summer off to show me a little bit of the world, which is something you cannot you can't buy that kind of stuff. This is something you have to experience. You can see it on TV, yes, but it's not really the same as being there. Although I'm gonna go off here. So let me tell you a story. Unrelated, but it's at the time me and my friends went to New York on New Year's Eve. Usually every year I see the ball drop on TV. I'm like, oh, that'd be cool if we could go there. So me and my friends decided to go there. It was about maybe 5 or 6 of us. And what happened was we got there and it was really crowded. The streets were blocked off. There were so many people, it was like 90 degrees because of all the body heat, I guess. When the ball was falling and it came time for that, it looked like a tiny speck in the distance. I could barely see it. I'm like, are you serious? This is what I came here for? And we couldn't walk up close to it like you see on TV because the streets were blocked off. And if you want to be up in the front like that, you got to get there like a day in advance. So there was a lot of drama afterwards. We ended up seeing a small riot. We ended up seeing, we went to a pizza place. That was really great pizza. And we waited a long time to get our when we were going home to get the I don't know if we had to take like a train or something, but we waited a long time. Now I'm going to tell you something. Would I do it again? No. Was it a good experience once? Yeah. But the reason why I wouldn't do it again is because this is the only time I'll say I'd rather see something on TV, because I would have seen the ball really close up on TV in the comfort of my home with a refrigerator and a couch right there. So, but that's different than actually going on vacation, seeing the world, which it was incredible, the stuff I saw. Just incredible. I mean, when you see the landscape change, like I'm in the Northeast and we have all these, we call them mountains and stuff, but these are not mountains like they have over on the West Coast. The West Coast, they have some pretty big mountains, like you cannot believe. But I love the vacation. I've been lucky enough to go to Israel. I went with my mom, saw the Great Wall, saw a lot of stuff there. Went to Bethlehem. It was really cool. I've gone to England. That was really cool there too. I saw a lot of castles, Warwick, Windsor. Went to London. Just amazing. Went to Puerto Rico. Now this is the thing. This is why I'm talking to you on this podcast. I went to Puerto Rico, and I went there because I went on a cruise. Now when I was going through the divorce, I don't know if it was when I was going through or afterwards. All of a sudden, I was able to save money. So put it to you that way, and it was great. I was saving money because I said when I got I don't think I was totally divorced at the time. I think I was separated. We were going through the divorce. I said I'm going on a cruise. I've always wanted to go on a cruise, and I am going on a cruise. So I would every paycheck I would put $100 in a jar. I don't really like to put money in the bank. I used to work for a bank. I don't want my money in a bank unless it's like a stupid amount, and you're gonna have to. But I mean, stuff's only insured to so much. But anyways, I put $100 in a jar, and every week I'd save it. And if I was gonna go to McDonald's, I'd say, you know what? Instead of using that money to buy a burger, I'm gonna put that money in that jar, and I'd go home and make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I would do this all the time until I had quite a bit of money for half the cruise. Now I looked up the cruise online. I wanted to go on a great cruise that wasn't expensive. Carnival is it for me. That was it. A lot of people suggested it. They said that's the fun ship, and it's reasonable. Gives you the experience, and it did. I ended up taking two of my daughters, and we had a great time. We traveled. I showed my kids. I wanted my kids to see the world, so they know there's something more to life than just the border of Massachusetts and the border of their cities. I want them to get out and broaden their minds, to meet different cultures, to meet different people, to know what it's like to interact. Because in life, you're going to have to do that. You should. So people don't interact. You could tell the people that don't really interact with people. You know, they just don't know how to talk to you sometimes. And that's not good. You don't have to go all over the world to know how to talk to people. It's got to be something in you. But traveling does help. Sort of like if you eat a 3-course meal, it does help to use a knife and a fork, but you can use your fingers. Do you want to use your fingers? Not really. I don't want to. I'd rather use a knife and a fork. So I went on a cruise with my 2 daughters. I liked it so much. I went again. I took my my mom and my youngest daughter, because she was sick the first time anyways, on the second cruise. And then I said, I'm going to go on another cruise again. And I took my youngest daughter and my youngest son. I had a great time. So I really like taking cruises. I love taking cruises. Cruises are definitely fun. And it was really great. And I think I'd suggest that for anybody. You know, you can go on Carnival. You can go on Royal Caribbean. I mean, they got a lot of cruises out there, but the economical one, for me, it was Carnival. And that's the only one I've been on, and the food was great. Some people complain, not me. I don't know where these people came from who complained, but it was great for me. Now, I have friends who also go to resorts. They save up. They like to go on a resort, and I guess the resort is like, they got the hotel, they got the beach, and all you can eat, just like the cruise, all you can eat, and you don't have to go anywhere. But to me, that's just like that's like going away on a weekend to the beach and you just stay in a hotel. I don't know if I'd really like it. Some people spend $5,000 on that stuff. I'm like, I don't want to spend that much money, and that's the only thing I see is the resort. I want to travel. So it all depends, if you want to travel and go on a dream vacation first and foremost, you got to figure out where you want to go. Okay, you got to figure out how much you're going to need. So what are you going to do? You figure out, do I want to go on a cruise? Do I want to go on a resort? Do I want to just go away for the weekend? What do I want to do? And then you budget early. That's really what you got to do. You really going to have to budget that stuff. And it's great when you can budget because when you budget, you can figure out, do you have enough money for this? Do you have enough money for that? So I would say once you know where you want to go, then you figure out what you need. Bathing suits, winter coat. Some people go to Alaska. They want to go on a cruise to Alaska. You're going to need a coat. Now, I'm talking about cruises, but you could go across country like a friend of mine. He went to the Grand Canyon with his family, and he loved it. He loved it. And I always asked him, well, what did you do to save? And he would sit there and he'd tell me, you got to budget early. I mean, if you know where you're going on vacation, start working on how much it will cost. If you don't know where you'll end up, then at least make a guess of how much you might spend. And if you're planning a trip that's more than a year or so out, which is what I did, it was about, you could create what's often called a sinking fund. If you think your vacation will cost $4,000, you put away $333 every month in an account or in a jar like I did after a year. You'd nearly have the whole thing saved up. If you did a sinking fund every year or a vacation fund, you'd have your vacation paid for every year. So that's one of the ways you can do it. Now, some people also use the cashback reward. The cashback rewards on credit cards. Many credit cards offer sign-up bonuses in which you can earn free cash back, extra airline mileage, travel points for spending a certain amount of money within a few months of an account opening, which you can use to cover a big portion of your travel expenses. I don't know if you guys knew that. So that's good. And if you want to go on go to Disney, they have a lot of stuff for Disney too. Do the same thing. Put some money away and look around. Now you can also go through a travel agent, because travel agents, they usually go to these places and they can tell you if there's certain discounts. Like, I am 57, so I'm over the 55 mark, which means I can get a lot of discounts somewhere, which is cool. I can get something finally. And I'm going to go back to the cruise. You want to cruise, you're 55 and older, or you're in the military, or you're like an EMT or something. I guess if you're in some kind of medical field, I forget the name of it, then you get a discount, which is cool. I mean, it's really cool. So, like I said, some people use a travel agent, but you want to plan it early, But do you want to go on vacation during the hot summer? I'll tell you, I did, and it was hot. I went to the Caribbean, and I went to Mexico, and it was very hot. On one of them, when I went with my daughter and my son, we ended up going to Mexico in October, so it was cooler. I did like that. I didn't. When we went in the summertime, it was hot. We went in August. I think it was August and July, and then when I took him and my youngest daughter, my son and my youngest daughter, that was October, which was a little cooler. Wasn't cold, but it was cooler, and it was nice. I did like that. So I urge everybody, if you want to go on a vacation, definitely start saving. And instead of buying the gummy bears, the chocolate bars, the junk food, the McDonald's, the Burger King, going out to eat, the pizzas, take that money and put it away in an envelope, a jar, or the bank. It will add up. And I mean, you should be doing that anyways. You should always take a little extra money, not only just for vacation, but for like emergency money. Like if your car breaks down, you always want to have about $2,000 just lying around. Don't gamble it. If it's lying around, you can do it. And I know you guys can do it, because everybody wants their kids to be exposed to new stuff. Who wants their kids to be cooped up in a city and a state and not seeing anything? I do know people my age who have never been out of Massachusetts except for a honeymoon to Canada. Really? Really? How can you not? I mean, at your age, not. Hey, I ain't judging. I'm just saying. It's great to see the world, and I would hope everybody can see a bit of the world. And if you can't, yeah, there is always TV. But it's always cool to smell the nature, to feel the breeze, to feel the sun on your skin. It's really cool. And like I said, just save up a little bit. You can do it. I believe in you. I did it. It was tough, but I did it. So, that being said, I hope you got a lot out of this, because now it is story time. Each Friday night after work, Bubba would fire up his outdoor grill and cook venison steak, but all of Bubba's neighbors were Catholic, and since it was Lent, they were forbidden from eating red meat on Friday. The delicious aroma from the grill venison steak was causing such a problem for the Catholic faithful that they finally talked to their priests. The priest came to visit Bubba and suggested that he become a Catholic. After several classes and much studying, Bubba attended Mass. The priest sprinkled holy water on him and said, "You were born a Baptist and raised as a Baptist, but now you are a Catholic." Bubba's neighbors were greatly relieved until Friday night arrived and the wonderful aroma of grilled venison filled the neighborhood. The priest was called immediately by the neighbors. As the priest rushed into Bubba's yard, clutching a rosary and prepared to scold him, he stopped and watched in amazement. There stood Bubba, clutching a small bottle of holy water, which he carefully sprinkled over the grilled meat while chanting, "You was born a deer, you was raised a deer, but now you are a catfish." Now you are a cat. Oh, that story. That story never gets old. Well, everybody, I do want to thank you for joining me here today. If you enjoyed this podcast, you can download any of my podcasts morning, noon, and night, and hear it all over the world and the internet. It would be great if you could just say hello, drop a line, and hope you guys enjoy what you hear. Listen, I want to thank all of you for listening today. It's been great, and don't forget to be nice and talk nice to everyone you see. Don't be a jerk. And remember this one last bit of advice. Remember this, guys. Tomorrow's never promised, so don't go to bed angry at your child or anyone you love. And before you go to bed tonight, hug your child and tell them, "I will love you forever, Dad." Hey, thanks everyone for joining me here today. Let's do it again. I'll see you next time here on my show. Be well, be kind, be back, peace, and I, my family and friends, will see you later. Goodbye.